Hello, friends. Welcome once again. I'm sure you would have seen this advertisement. Do you have it in you? It reads, if you have it in you, we are looking for you. So let's try and understand what is this, what they are looking for in you, and do you really have it in you or you need to develop it? Now, for the purpose of understanding, we all know they are looking for these 15 officer like qualities grouped under four factors. Factor 1, planning or organizing. Factor 2, social effectiveness. Factor 2 is social adjustment. Factor 3 is social effectiveness. And factor 4 is factor dynamic. Today, we will focus on one of this, that is the reasoning ability, because this is also called the mother of all OLQs. So we'll not go through all of them, all 15 of them. We'll take it as when we move forward. But today we'll focus on the quality called reasoning ability. Let's first understand what is this factor planning and organizing, which is the factor 1. Now, factor planning and organizing को qualities of head भी बोलते हैं. That's something to do with your IQ. So if you're an officer, at the stage of selection, you need to show certain potential, and under this factor 1, planning and organization, there are 4 OLQs that they are looking for. First is effective intelligence, which is the practical problem solving capability of the candidate. Next is the reasoning ability or the tark shakti. Third is organizing ability, and last is the power of expression. We will today take only the reasoning ability, which is also called the tark dene ki shakti, tark shakti, which is also known as mother of all OLQs. There is no point going to the SSB if you don't develop your tark shakti. So I have attempted to do that, but somehow the conventional model is so comforting that मेरी बातों को कोई सुनता ही नहीं है. But फिर भी मैं एक attempt करूँगा to do that. Now, definitely, this brain cannot be more logical as compared to this brain. So, in your training, whatever be your method of training, be it self preparation or through the help of a coaching, they should do something to sharpen your brain. If they are not doing it, then you're wasting your money. And if you're wasting your money, then what is the point of going for SSB interview and the training when you have not developed the mother of all OLQs? Now, those of you who wish to join me, you can go through the self-management leadership module, and specifically MIS of self, Management Information System of the Self, which is going to be held in the next week. This will definitely help you to sharpen your brain. Those who are interested, the dates are, next batch is starting from 24th of January. Thereafter from 31st of January, जो लोग February में जाना चाहते हैं, 7, 14, 21, 28 and same 7, 14, 28 in March में. So next batch is starting on 24th January 2022. Self-management leadership का, it's an online batch, 2 weeks का, and to register you have to send me a WhatsApp message at 9090099035. You will have to go through this module to understand the impact of it on you and your thinking process. Also, those of you interested in going for the SSB interview, that is AFOSOP, on the same dates these batches are available. Again, online, 2 weeks batches are available. And 24th January is the next batch. Thereafter 31, and all these dates are available in February and March. Again, to register, 9090099035 is the number on which you do WhatsApp. Now let's come back to our topic. Besides this, you can also go to courses.ganeshbabu.in, and there are also large number of videos are there, and the new fresh video series is being started, that is OLQ Decoded, where each of these OLQs are threadbare explained and with example both from life and from psychological test responses, where you can get 500% clarity, not 100, 200, 500%. So visit this place. There are a large number of videos which are free. There are some which are at a very nominal rate, but will tremendously help you. Now let's come back to us today's topic, reasoning ability or tark shakti. For the purpose of definition, reasoning ability is the ability, आपकी ability of the candidate to grasp the essential well and to arrive at conclusions by rational thinking. Conclusions के ऊपर मतलब एक तर्क के आधार पर निष्कर्ष पर आने की क्षमता. इसमें दो कैच वर्ड जो इसमें है वो है to grasp the essential well and to arrive at conclusion by rational thinking. Now इसे समझने के लिए एक एग्जाम्पल लेंगे और फिर इसको आगे डिस्कस करेंगे. फॉर एग्जाम्पल दिस पिक्चर, व्हेन यू लुक एट दिस पिक्चर you have to observe this picture आँखों से, and then you have to grasp the essentials well, and then you have to arrive at conclusions by rational thinking. So let's look at this picture. So you see there is a lady who is sitting. She has got an office का revolving chair है. There's a telephone, ink pad है, there's a file cabinet है, the files are placed here. Then there is this board called managing director. You can see a door with a glass opening जिससे कि आप बाहर से अंदर देख सकते हो. And this lady is wearing a sari, and she appears to be in her 30s. Similarly, there's a young man who is formally dressed. He's wearing a coat and a trouser, he's wearing shoes, he's carrying a briefcase. He also appears to be in late 20s or early 30s or whatever. And since this is the managing director ka board, so the person who is inside is probably the managing director, and this lady is probably the secretary or the PA to that managing director. And what is seen is definitely this man cannot be managing director, because if he was the managing director, out of courtesy she would have stood up and speak. And the way he is speaking to her, listening to her, she is trying to explain something to him, or probably he would have come to meet the managing director who is inside. We don't know the purpose of all this. This is the way it looks. So a lady who is in her early 30s, a man fully formally dressed, but not the managing director, but the probably came to meet the managing director. We don't know why. Currently he is listening to this lady who is explaining him something, and this is the scene. So when I ask you what led to the situation, what is currently happening, what is the final outcome, one thing is clear, that this picture is a professional setting. Professional setting. इसका मतलब office environment का है, and we are trying to find out what is the conversation that's happening between this man and this lady, and what is the purpose of his coming and meeting the managing director. When this picture was shown to a CDS candidate, let's see what does he write. He writes, Amandeep applied for a job in a company. So the starting line starts from Amandeep applied for a job in a company and appeared for its interview. After a few days, when he got the result, he saw that he was not selected. So Amandeep was not selected. So Amandeep decided to prepare well. So there is a preparation for the interview going on in a systematic, strategic manner. Strategic manner he prepares for his next interview. This interview he is not selected, so he is preparing for the next interview. See what is happening here in the picture. A young man is standing and listening or speaking to a lady who is sitting in front of the managing director's office. But whereas story mein what's happening is Amandeep has applied for a job, he was not selected, and is preparing well in a strategic manner. Where will he prepare? He will either prepare in his home or in the library or wherever he is staying, PG mein. But यहाँ पे scene is something else. For his next interview, Amandeep wrote down all the things. So Amandeep is making notes, all the things that he need to be acted upon. Amandeep revised all his study material. Look, यहाँ पे हो क्या रहा है और यहाँ पे Amandeep क्या कर रहा है. Revised all his study material which was needed for the job. He also worked upon his communication skill. So Amandeep is working on his communication skill. बहुत कुछ हो रहा है, but इस picture से match नहीं हो रहा. Also did many mock interview. So he did many mock interview. Whereas what is happening is not a mock interview, it's a conversation that's happening. So it's not understood कि इस तरह से क्यों ये candidate, CDS का candidate इसे build कर रहा है. And studied to read history of the company. So he reads the history of the company also, for which he was applying for. So the company for which he is applying for. Now after doing this, Amandeep appeared for interview, and this time he was selected for the job. So the entire story is revolving around Amandeep preparing for the interview and note taking and all those things. But in the given picture, what is happening is a young man who is in trousers, coat, he's having a briefcase, is talking to a lady, and the lady is probably explaining something in front of the managing director. Now, the reference of the managing director has not come. Why he is in coat and suit is not come. Why is he come in this? Because he is not too young. बिकॉज नॉर्मली आईटी वाले तो बैग लेके घूमते हैं, है ना, टी शर्ट पहन के. वाई दिस लेडी का रेफरेंस पूरे में कहीं पे भी नहीं आया. नाइदर शी इज टेकिंग एन इंटरव्यू नॉर शी इज इन ए setting where she can take an interview. So in this entire story, this lady is missing. Now when you look at all these things, it raises question on the way he has applied his logic. So if you see, how did this candidate grasp the essentials well? How did he arrive at this conclusion that this boy is preparing for interview, whereas what you see here is a completely different setting? So when you look at this definition and when you look at his response to this picture, you can clearly see the grasp of the essential well has been missed. And next, he has arrived at conclusions not by rational thinking but some preconceived notion. समझ में आया तो मुझे बताना. नाउ रैशनल थिंकिंग को ये कैसे इसको जस्टिफाई करोगे, ये क्यों मिस हुआ, आप मुझे कमेंट लिख के बताना. नाउ रीजनिंग एबिलिटी के आगे भी डेफिनेशन है, सब डेफिनेशन. इट सेज रीजनिंग एबिलिटी इंक्लूड 4 चीज़ें: रिसेप्टिविटी, इंक्वायरिंग एटीट्यूड, लॉजिकल रीजनिंग एंड सीइंग एसेंशियल्स ऑफ ए प्रॉब्लम. सो लेट्स सी दीस वन बाय वन. रिसेप्टिविटी, it is the ability of the candidate to understand and absorb new impression. Why was this person taken as a student who has applied for job, whereas he is in a, जिस तरह का इसका body language है, जिस तरह से बात कर रहा है, he does not appear to be a interview giving student. And there is a managing director का reference, why this lady was missed, ये कुछ भी पता नहीं चल रहा. It involves attention and grasping power. तो क्या आपका attention नहीं था इस पिक्चर को देखते टाइम? क्या आपने एसेंशियल एलिमेंट को ग्रास्प नहीं किया? ये सवाल उठता है. नेक्स्ट इज इंक्वायरिंग एटीट्यूड, हेल्दी क्यूरियोसिटी. आपने अमनदीप को इंटरव्यू देने वाला बना दिया, बट अगर आपके अंदर हेल्दी क्यूरियोसिटी, तो आपको लगता कि दिस मैन इज स्लाइटली बिगर देन अमनदीप हु you have shown as a student. He is a professional, and the way he is dressed, he is holding a certain position. He would have come with some purpose to meet the managing director, and there is a communication that's happening between probably the secretary and this person before he goes into the managing director's office, resulting in an urge to increase one's general knowledge and experience in life. So जिस तरह का इसका पहनावा है, जिस तरह का यहाँ का environment है, I think you missed out on linking this with your real life experience. Next is logical reasoning, tark sangat soch, the ability to arrive at conclusions or judgments strictly on a process of rational thinking and excluding emotional factors. आपने पूरी कहानी स्ट्रैटेजिक मैनर, इंटरव्यू बनाया, उसने नोट्स बनाया, स्टडी किया, प्रिपेयर किया, हिस्ट्री ऑफ द कंपनी चेक किया और इंटरव्यू दिया, पूरा एक इंटरव्यू पे चढ़ा दिया. Whereas you have not come to a judgment strictly based on a rational thinking. अगर rational thinking होता कोई professional situation बनाते. मुझे बताना क्या समझ में आया. Seeing essentials is a problem, you can read it. You have missed out on the essentials by making this person a student who is appearing for or preparing for interview. This lady has been completely ignored, and you created a scene of interview where nowhere it is seen that an interview is going on. तो इतना बड़ा मिस्टेक क्यों हुआ, आप मुझे बताना. तो क्लियरली इसमें ऐसा लग रहा है कि आपका जो स्टोरी है उसमें लॉजिक की कमी है. क्यों? when this picture was shown, this is what came out. So इसके अंदर एलिमेंट्स को लिंक नहीं किया जा पा रहा है. So unfortunately the psychologist cannot seek clarification, so it is your responsibility to write it very very क्लियरली। अब मैं आपको बताता हूँ कि इसका डेफिनेशन को देखना, इसको अगर आपको डेवलप करना है तो देर आर सर्टन qualities that you have to build up in you. The first one is a high degree of observational skill, because if your observation itself is weak, then you will create Amandeep and him as student, you will ignore it and you will ignore the managing director board. Observation, आंखों के लेवल पे ही ऑब्जर्वेशन गलत है, concentration, attention. Next is perceptual skill. You created a student and prepare for interview in the house, whereas what is happening is in an official setting. So perception में भी प्रॉब्लम है. ऑफिस के सेटिंग को अपने घर में इंटरव्यू के प्रिपरेशन में डाल दिया, नोट्स बना रहा है यहाँ पे, जबकि हो कुछ और रहा है. नेक्स्ट इज critical thinking. Cause effect relationship नहीं लगा पाए. You could not attribute a cause to what is visible as the effect. यहाँ पे मिस हो गया. And then since you could not define the problem clearly, you could not solve it. So problem solving, creative thinking is out of the box thinking. वो भी मिस हो गया और आप इंटरव्यू की तैयारी करते रह गए. व्यवस्थित नहीं कर पाए. You cannot manage the world outside if you cannot manage the world inside. तो आपका ये भी गलत हो गया. एनालिटिकल स्किल, विश्लेषण करने की शक्ति और आपका एनालिटिकल स्किल्स, इवैल्यूएशन स्किल सब गलत हो गया. पूरा तैयारी इंटरव्यू में लगा दिया बजाय कि इस कम्युनिकेशन को एक्सप्रेस करने के लिए और उसको एक्सप्लेन करने के लिए. सही और गलत का भेद नहीं कर पाए. आप एक ऑफिशियल सेटिंग में इंटरव्यू की तैयारी करके आपको ये समझ में नहीं आया कि हाउ डू यू लिंक दिस टू पिक्चर एंड द स्टोरी. सो देयर इज अ मिसमैच बिटवीन द पिक्चर प्रेजेंटेड एंड द स्टोरी दैट यू हैव रिटन. कॉन्फ्लिक्ट तो खैर आया ही नहीं, बिकॉज इसमें कोई कॉन्फ्लिक्ट आपके दिमाग में तो बड़ा क्लियर ही था कि इंटरव्यू की तैयारी हो रही है. वेरस मेरे दिमाग में भी एक कॉन्फ्लिक्ट आ रहा है कि हाउ डिड यू अराइव एट इंटरव्यू व्हेन व्हाट आई सी इज अ प्रोफेशनल कम्युनिकेशन. तो गलत हो गया वहाँ पे. एंड डिसीजन मेकिंग, किस तरह से आपने इस निर्णय को लिया. तो इन्हें जब तक आप नहीं डेवलप करोगे तो आपका एक्शन प्लान नहीं तैयार होगा. सो आई वॉन्ट टू नो व्हाट इज़ द एक्शन प्लान यू आर डूइंग टू डू इट. आप लोग काफ़ी सारे बुक्स पढ़ते हो इस तरह का, है ना, ब्रेकिंग द कोड ऑफ SSB साइकोलॉजिकल टेस्ट, जहाँ पे 100 ओरिजिनल TAT स्टोरी, 300 ओरिजिनली SRT एग्जाम्पल, 300 ओरिजिनल WAT एग्जाम्पल, बेस्ट सेल्फ डिस्क्रिप्शन एग्जाम्पल एंड सीक्रेट्स फ्रॉम रिकमेंडेड कैंडिडेट. इन चीज़ों को रटा मार के जाते हो. मेरा सवाल है, क्या इन लोगों को रटा मारने से आपके ये क्वालिटी डेवलप होता है? आप सोच के देखो, ये 100 ओरिजिनल TAT स्टोरी को अगर आपने रट्टा मार लिया तो आपका ऑब्जर्वेशनल, परसेप्चुअल, क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग, क्रिएटिव थिंकिंग, ऑर्गेनाइजिंग एबिलिटी, एनालिटिकल स्किल्स, डिस्क्रिमिनेटिव स्किल्स, कॉन्फ्लिक्ट रेजोल्यूशन, डिसीजन मेकिंग स्किल, ये सब डेवलप होगा. तो रोट मेमोरी हो गया जैसे 3 इडियट में था. तो दिस बुक इज़ कम्प्लीटली फॉल्स. जो भी इसका ऑथर है ये गुमराह करने वाला बुक है. मैं नहीं बोल रहा, DIPR एंड SSB. तो मुझे बताना, क्या ये तर्क शक्ति को डेवलप करने का तरीका है कि 300 ओरिजिनल TAT स्टोरी, when you know SSB is a personality based selection, why the personality grooming is not happening? Why are you giving 300 TAT story and WAT story? प्लीज़ बताना मुझे. रीजनिंग एबिलिटी इज द एबिलिटी ऑफ द कैंडिडेट टू ग्रास्प द एसेंशियल वेल एंड टू अराइव एट कंक्लूजन बाय रैशनल थिंकिंग. तो मुझे बताना ये कौन सी तर्क शक्ति है जिसमें ये बताया जाता है कि 300 WAT स्टोरियों को रट लो, 300 ओरिजिनल SRT को. ये किस लिए है? ये तो आपका निर्णय होना चाहिए. व्हेन यू डेवलप योर डिसीजन मेकिंग स्किल्स यू विल डू इट. व्हेन यू डेवलप योर ऑब्जर्वेशनल स्किल्स, परसेप्चुअल स्किल्स, यू विल राइट इट. व्हाई डू यू वांट स्टोरीज? इस बुक में क्यों नहीं ये लिखा कि इन स्किल्स को कैसे डेवलप करना है? क्यों ये रेडीमेड दिया हुआ है? और इससे आपका क्या नुकसान होगा, मुझे इसका फीडबैक देना. बिकॉज मैं तो बता रहा हूँ लेकिन आप लोगों को समझ भी नहीं आ रहा. दिस इज़ वेरी ईजी टू डू इट because this is in alignment with the Indian education system which works on rote memory. आपने 3 इडियट का ये सीन देखा होगा. इन्होंने इस कॉलेज में निरंतर चमत्कार पे चमत्कार किया. भी आप भी क्यों चमत्कार पे चमत्कार कर रहे हो? आपका भी प्राण घटकम थुचुक हो जाएगा फिर. सो मुझे फीडबैक देना. और अगर आपको इसको वास्तव में डेवलप करना है तो यू कैन ज्वाइन मी ऑन 24th/31st जनवरी या 7, 14, 21/28 को फरवरी या मार्च को. एंड इसके लिए आपको मुझे व्हाट्सअप करना है 9090099035 पे. एंड वी विल डू इट. इट इज़ पॉसिबल टू डेवलप इट रादर देन दिस 300 WAT एंड SRT घोटने का. दैट्स नॉट द वे यू टू डेवलप. दिस ट्रेनिंग इज़ रॉन्ग. तो मुझे ज़रूर फीडबैक में बताना क्या समझ में आया. एंड आई होप दिस वीडियोज़ विल हेल्प यू इन अंडरस्टैंडिंग द एक्सपेक्टेशन फ्रॉम SSB एंड वेयर आर यू एंड व्हाट आर यू डूइंग इन द नेम ऑफ एसएसबी ट्रेनिंग, बिकॉज जब तक ये दिशा सही नहीं होगी आप कहानियाँ रटते रह जाओगे. मुझे इसके ऊपर जरूर फीडबैक देना, एंड आई होप दिस वीडियोस आर हेल्पिंग यू. थैंक यू एंड मे गॉड ब्लेस यू. थैंक यू वेरी मच.